Alright, good morning, good day, good afternoon, and welcome back to the African Crypto Warlord show. I may start off the video with about a 1 minute, 2 minute rant, but I will say this. The people that you may watch on YouTube for the price of whatever coin you're looking at, we'll exclude memes because that's a whole different culture, but if it's listed on TradingView, 95% of those idiots that are posting YouTube analyses on crypto don't actually know what the fuck is going on. And now you can see the shit starting to ramp up during like December because these fucking YouTubers want to go out and post as much bullshit as possible because people are home, they're bored, and they're on their phones. They're just there for your views and for you to click on their fucking referral links, okay? If it wasn't for referral links, those homies wouldn't be here today. All right? Furthermore, trying to sell you some bullshit indicator that if you were to work your trading fees into it, you'd actually be losing. This is what people don't fucking understand. It's starting to piss me off, and now I'm catching a little bit of a vendetta towards them towards the end of the year. All right, so long story short, we're going to get into Bitcoin, and we'll just start off on the reason why they're a bunch of idiots, okay? So we can run just our 7-day coin, and what the fuck do we see? Oh, wow. It bounced perfectly at our last call, whatever it was, $92,500. Like, pick a fucking exchange that's $100 out, okay? These always piss me off. They don't have stats, they don't have probabilities, they don't use the direction of volatility. Like, that's the edge. You want to be a quant, you want to say you do fucking quant shit, that's part of the edge, and so much more. Okay, so long story short, Bitcoin on the 7-day hit our target to the fucking T, and then your next best move from here, if you can break above 98,126, so these pink lines, if you can break above there, you might have continuation. But I would be guessing a retest at 98,126, maybe minus $500, because we have some new weekly targets being printed. We can see there's a hidden bull div now forming on this 7-day over here. DLP to the downside. So if it was to stretch and still stay range bound, because DLP is going down, RO is trying to put in a hidden bull div, I would expect it to be range bound between this pink line here. Now it's actually lifted up a bit more. $92,363 to... Okay, we're going to have to super zoom there. And that would be pretty much when it touches, I suppose. So just call it $98,400. That's your range on the 7-day. Anyone trying to tell you otherwise, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay, so we'll just start off with the 90-day. We'll see what's changed. And I need to get the direction of volatility on that 7-day. Okay, 90-day prints in 2 days and 13 hours. I will make another one because I think we have like 90-day, 45-day, 21-day. Like a whole bunch of these timeframes are starting to trigger. Okay, we don't have volatility read as of yet. It is saying there was a 0 in here, but not anymore. Looks as bullish as it's going to be on a 90-day, but we have 2 days and 13 hours left. 45-day, another 2 days and 13 hours left until print. And our previous observation was when it does print, does this RO oscillator by Alpha Trading Tools, does it tag the mean? Is it going to open below it or is it going to open above it? And the general observation is if this blue line opens above it, pretty bullish. If it matches the mean, consolidation. If it closes below the mean, I would be expecting the bears to at least start putting in deep wicks to the downside, quick, fast, deep wicks to the downside for those 90 days. Okay. Bloody blah, blah, blah. Volatility is still 50-50. It's actually grown a little bit more over the last, what is it? It's about a $10,000 dump. All right, 21-day has now moved itself into negative drift whilst RO is ticking down. Okay, so that's got another 8 days and 13 hours. This might be a bit dirty between the 90-day, 45-minute print. So I'd have to give that 90-day and 45-minute print another 10 days in order to get a clear signal out of the 21-day, okay? So its contracting was positively correlated. Generally, if it does want to get bearish here and it does slip down, as you can see, quite a nice little toppy formation. But if it does actually play out and that, you'd be looking at about, what's that? just call it a $89,150 bounce, initial bounce or target down here, at least on 21 days. These are long-term time frames out. Its escape velocity to flip this indicator pump ruing is pretty much where our 7-day cone is at $97,033. Okay, so start closing above there, back into bullish mode, start closing below here, consolidation bearish. That's how I look at it, simply put. Okay, here contracting, 14-day is 50-50. DLPs and stuff are starting to turn down. Let's see if there's anyone close for us to pull up on a target here. There's 101. Reverse wave tendies will be far away. So I did try for that 91,682, but we had that 7-day Laplace distribution cone pretty much scoopity to poopity over here on the far left. Let's see what this is. We already gave that observation. Currently in a little bit of a positive drift mode. So what we'd be looking for, at least for the beginning of this week, is maybe the 7-day, the 5-day, the 3-day, and 24-hour. If this is going to be a quick bounce, we want to see those guys moving into a positive drift phase, which is more than likely, or an expansion in volatility was positively correlated, equaling pump. That will get you back up here quite quickly into that 98,400 region. Okay. If they aren't saying that, then we know we're going to be dragging down here like an iceberg order. Okay, and let's go here, 5-day. This is why you can't backtest using TradingView. The last time, I'll try to put the link there. I don't even know how many things it is. But last time we viewed this, the candlestick actually wasn't touching our 5-day Laplace distribution cone on the left. All right, now that I've come back to it, it's touching it, which would tell you that TradingView reprints information. So you can backtest all you like, but if you're backtesting on TradingView, you're a fucking retard. Sorry for the language. If someone's trying to convince you to backtest on TradingView, go to the 1 minute, take a screenshot, draw a box, come back tomorrow at the same time, take a screenshot, draw a box, compare the two. You're not going to have the same data set. Okay, and this is like an old age thing that I've known for like the past 7 years, trying to quantify and backtest data. It's not worth it. Live test it. Do it live. All right. Okay, that's negative drift on the 5-day. So we're sort of out of anything here. A little bit choppy. Those buts and algos are wanting to go through. So negative drift will continue if Bitcoin closes below $94,250. Right now, it's looking like it's a little bit rangy here on the 5-day. It did pick up on that 5-day pink and 98,850. All right. A little bit of dirt here. Start closing above 98,850. I would expect another push into the upside, but I think that is pretty much where this is, 98,400-ish region. Okay. Not much help. Not much help. Here, okay, 3-day, you are looking like the ROs are being squeezed into a bullish posturing, sort of in no man's land for me here. If this was the 1 minute, I'd expect this thing to catch and more than likely fail halfway through here. So at about 100 grand, I'd expect it to then push down, at least on the 3-day, as we haven't hit any targets, and there's a zone of liquidity building here at $91,000, let's just call it, to $91,650. That's going to be its sweet spot. There's another zone of liquidity pretty much built into the book here at $77,000, $77,580. That does look like a key region. So if you can write those numbers down, I'll quantify them for you quickly. Okay. So what a lot of people seem to miss is that they all like to talk about lower term timeframes and all this bullshit, but now that we're on the 24-hour and it's easier to see, what can I see? November 20th this year, all right, we printed a VRE mean, weekly VRE mean down here at $87,700. And then this month, December this month, there's another month, well, not another, there's a weekly mean untouched and there's a monthly mean untouched down here, okay? That's $87,650. There's two big magnets down here. If Bitcoin was to get drastic and like maybe like everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's over, I would look for that as the first initial pit stop. More than likely fucking wreck all the YouTubers that say it's bearish and it'll put in a bounce there. Everyone's going to be super bearish on it. It'll put in a bounce here. Then they're going to turn super bullish, and then I'd see another target down here at 76,300. All right. And if that plays through, I will make sure to fucking put this video on loud, and I'll try even tag the people that actually don't know how to trade. So 24-hour is looking like it's 50-50 here on the volatility. This is technically the beginnings of an iceberg order to the downside. So you might get another pop up here into 98,000, more than likely tomorrow, 98,921. If this was to play out how I think it should. Okay, let me just go to the 15-minute and just show you where we have an untouched weekly, 98,604. All right, so there is an untouched target to the upside here at 98,000, just call it $600, depending on exchange you're trading. All right, you could pretty much call that 98,570 to the more responsible side of things. 98,000, I think I said 650 to 87,650. That's your range. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. That's your range. All right, so if it starts failing this level that we can't see here because it's just printed on the 15-minute, they're all the same. Doesn't matter what time frame I'm looking at. But if it does start failing here, this one, if it does start failing here at 98,550, we already have that downside target, okay? 12-hour, what can we see here? Okay, so that's 50-50 on the 24-hour. Looking for a little bit of a bullish posturing. We will see maybe tomorrow that there'll be a zone of liquidity printing up here at 98,550 odd. Okay, so that play is in the book. Just have to be a little bit polite today to see if this will be that candle through to build the structure in, or if we've got to wait today for it to push up. But I think it might be today, tomorrow. I don't think this should slide any further. It's a good little bounce, but we can pull it up. Okay, 12-hour, what are you doing? Contracting, was positive correlated, losing its negative drift, sort of stuck in this. Next zone of liquidity here is at 98,160. Any failures below these orange lines here, to keep it absolutely simple, any failures below about 95,550, still bearish to the downside. Any closes above said number, I do start looking for topside liquidity, okay? And tap that liquidity. What's here? 6 hours, trying to move into a pump mode, but didn't have the trend to catch it. So I'm going to print in the next 30 minutes, so bring that down. You'd need to get above about $96,300. Hold that for about a 6-hour candle, and then the next 6-hour candle. So 12 hours and 25 minutes from the posting of this video. If you can hold above here, you do look for bullish side coming in at 99,450. Zone of liquidity hasn't been retraced at 102, which is topside reverse wave tendy. Where's the middle of our new weekly? Just sitting in this region here. All right. So I haven't seen a good sign of liquidity building here just as yet with regards to tools that are crossing. But there are people that are more than likely trying to take a short from here or longed, and that's where they're going to be taking profit if this does stay bullish. Okay, this one will be quite cool. Line in the sand on the 3 hours, working quite nicely. Any holding above $95,200, still bullish. Any closes below $95,200, I'm bearish. Back into your monthly at 87. If you start closing below this line, as you can see, it might move about $500 worth of price action over the next 3 days. Not just going to spike up or down, but that's a very good line in the sand. Start failing below there, we go down to 87. $630. Start holding above here, we now start triggering for a 98,657. Okay, that's in a positive drift, looking for a friend. If this move was to try and play out today, I would look for it to hold above $95,636 for a nice continuation signal, at least up into the top side. Untouched daily is sitting here at $97,732. So we've got two upside targets, which are intraday levels, And as you can see, if we were to draw a line, that's a lower high here, and that's a lower high here. Okay, simply put, that if they fail those, that's still a bearish structure towards the downside. Okay, this is the iceberg order on the higher term time frames, like the 24-hour and the 3-day and the 5-day iceberg order. That would be the bearish iceberg order. That would be the limits to keep it a bearish iceberg order. All right, 90-minute, 50-50, not so much here. Zone of liquidity has been built at $95,050, just call it. And maybe in the next 23 minutes, this zone of liquidity starts to come into play. All right, that's crossed in. There'll be a little bit of a cross here as well at 99, but I would only really say this is in the book for today. Once I see that cross through on the 90-minute, good stuff. If it does carry on failing, we'll see this orange line then trigger here at $97,777. Zone of liquidity. A lot of people can't. Here's the difference between myself and people who use alpha trading and everyone else is us at alpha trading, we can give you a time and a price. A lot of people can only give you a price. And that's a huge difference. When you start becoming a profitable trader, it's not about how correct you are. It's about, long story short, if I mess up, how many minutes does it take me to make back my loss? And if you ever hear someone say, oh, I've got a risk-reward ratio, I'm like, cool story, bro. Like, yeah, if you have a systematical approach and it works, cool. But if you can't tell me that in the next 45 minutes, I can make back my loss that I just took 2 minutes ago, I'm like, are you actually trading or are you just at the whim of the market, you know? Anyway, so 45-minute, that's now triggering a dump mode. Zone of liquidity down here at, again, $95,050. So we are getting just outside of this daily thing. There is a line in the sand here which would back that 3-hour observation. If it can hold above this zone of liquidity here at $95,630, then it will allow for the 3-hour and the 6-hour to have a bullish posturing, thus pushing us up into that untouched mean, daily mean up here at $97,745. Okay, 15-minute cone. This one's pretty cool. We will do some analysis. If the bulls are to try and win this current grinding that we're going through, they need to hold above here. Zone of liquidity has come in. Long story short, as you've seen with these cones, we hit this side of the cone, we came down, went for the pink, got the pink. This is under huge negative skew, this cone. You'll see it in the other one. But anyway, we came up, we hit that top side of the cone, and naturally I would be looking at a target from when it hit down here at 91,000, but to be more specific, we'll do it on this one. So that's there. That's 89,000. So that's putting us into that untouched monthly region. All right. Any holding above here? Yes, I'd look at it bullish. We have this 15-minute cone starting to now print into our newly discovered weekly VRE. So that would match up with that 45-minute orange line that's starting to come into this game over here. So there is someone pooling liquidity here, and you'd more than likely see if you went onto heat maps or you have book map or something like that, this is the time that they start pooling their liquidity there. All right. Okay, and for absolute drasticness, this one's I'm not going to say far out, but rules are rules. If you have a system, you have a system, right? Long story short, any failures below this top line here, 96, which brings us into a weekly, daily, and reverse wave trend levels. Any failures just below, just call it $97,000. I look for a Bitcoin all the way down here at $87,602. All right, so it looked like it sounded wild saying that there's a huge 10K range, but the 15-minute coin has picked up on it, and I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, where would I look for an initial bounce? Somewhere in here, at least on the 15-minute coin, if it does start failing here at about 92,000. So we're back into that 15-minute targets and all that other shit. All right. If you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. This is the African Crypto Warlord. long story short, this 1 minute coin has been going for a very long time, and it broke out of its model. Click correct. All right, it's gonna be back inside of its model, pretty much down here at these green lines. But right now the price is 94,400 and 93,813. That will put it back in this model. As you can see, it stretches down into our, is it gonna touch it soon? Oh, it's lagging. Okay, so maybe towards just after 30 minutes. Is this 30 minutes before? No, yeah, so 30 minutes after US market opens today, the monthly target for BTC gets put in the book. All right, we can get rid of that one. 1 minute. I love 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute here. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Okay, so same rules apply. Long story short, why is this thing lagging like this? Long story short, you start failing below 95,950. You carry on pushing down. Okay, next target would be $90,037. Start holding above 95,950. This coin to the top side here. And that puts us into those like untouched levels. All right, a little bit of a fight here. I would have expected it to be a bit stronger. I would have liked this structure to be like forming above this pink line, not underneath of it, as that's just an easier way to see the direction. But the fact that it's under it, there could be a whole bunch of hidden bear dips that come off on a 1 minute, and then that puts you back down into this region here at our safety zone, 95,630. Okay, line in the sand for pump. Anything above 95,940, look for the upside. Anything starting to close below 95,940, look for downside. Simply put, just look for more downside. Yeah, I think BTC may want to do its BTC thing and start taking souls. This looks like it's about the time. Anyway, if you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. If you would like access to the trading tools that I use, it's called Alpha Trading Tools. You'll see a Discord link below. And yeah, there's some free tools there to get the direction of volatility. I'll give you a few other things. And yeah, you'll be a lot better off using those tools if you put the time in just to learn the direction of volatility. So shit like this. Maybe one of these, ALR. Right, you won't get the full suite, but we do have a pro package. And yeah, you'd be bullish. If it starts closing below, then you'd be bearish. Simply put, guys. Cool. African Crypto Warlord out. You have my downside targets. I haven't really given too many upside targets except for those untouched weekly and daily VREs for now. Just because it's going up, I'm not going to give you upside targets, but we'll just put the lines in the sand. We actually did. It was this one. Upside targets 98,268. That's for a longer term to the upside. Longer term to the upside comes from there. Longer term to the downside comes from 92,363. Have a good day further.